This is interesting. So this is from Brad Stainbrook from the Orange and Brown Report. Again, a good follow on Twitter. If you don't follow him, you should. Eagles left tackle Andre Dillard will become a free agent in the offseason. League source tells Orange and Brown Report.com they wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland is interested. Dillard has flexibility. Went in for injured left guard Landon Dickerson in the AFC Championship game. One league source told the Orange and Brown Report the expectation is that Dillard would receive a contract in the $9 to $11.5 million range. Tim, the only thing I'd say, they got a lot of money tied up in the offensive line between Conklin, Teller, Bitonio, Jedrick Wills. I would assume if you're talking about signing Dillard, you don't pick up that fifth-year option for Jedrick Wills that's going to be in the neighborhood of $14.5 million.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking, that money, I said $14.5 million, combine it with, the $11.5 million, that's at the upper range that, Brad's referencing in that article. You're talking $26 million potentially tied up in trying to figure out who your starting left tackle is. And I know there's still questions about Jedrick Wills, and I guess to an extent, if you're still having questions about Jedrick Wills after 3 seasons, there's a question of, whether or not he actually is the guy. You're still uncertain about that, but Dillard, has been a solid player for his career, just obviously beaten out at left tackle by, I believe it's Jordan Mailata, who was a 7th-round pick, who's developed really well and become a surprise key player in that Eagles front. But, Andre Dillard was a guy I really liked coming out of the draft in 2019, very athletically gifted, didn't have quite the career he's expected to have in the NFL, but if the Browns, for whatever reason, decide to move on from Jedrick Wills or decide he's not the guy, Dillard would be an interesting possibility, especially, if you could bring him in for even cheaper, maybe as a swing tackle. Like he said, if Chris Hubbard doesn't come back, you kind of need that swing tackle. And if you don't feel comfortable with that being James Hudson, maybe you give Andre Dillard a look, but it has to be, I think, at a lower price.